Muslims are often falsely accused of certain things when they haven't done so, and when people realize what they posted is wrong, and there's no clarification. Often the posts are even deleted, and the damage is already done. And you've seen this particularly more over the last maybe year since the you can say the riots last summer, and particularly with certain politicians saying certain things and certain groups. Muslims have been, particularly amongst others, including minorities, but particularly Muslims, have been um, attacked, sometimes even physically, but often their character, what they do, what they wear, and other things. But now we have seen, even when a Muslim is doing something good that he chose to do, that he didn't have to do, they are still attacked. This shows you the level of um, hatred that's deep in many people, that is just blind. They don't know, okay, be, you can give them probably millions of pounds and give them a house and all of these things, and they will still do this to you. So the moral of the story is, stop trying to please people when you don't need to. Now, like the example that I'll just read in a second is, this man did not have to do this, but he chose to, because we are told to do good. But in this case, and in this climate, I wouldn't advise people to do certain forms of good. Doesn't mean we just completely stop. We can still do good in certain ways, but in this case, I wouldn't advise this type of good deed because of what's happened. Man falsely accused of rape cleared. Salim Ullah came across a drunk woman who was crying and had no shoes on, so he decided to give her a lift home. When they arrived, she tried to hug him, but he refused. She then went home and called the police, falsely accusing him of rape. Salim was arrested and held in custody for 30 hours while police investigated. Fortunately, Salim had recorded the encounter on his phone, which proved his innocence. Rachel Jones, his accuser, was sentenced to 2 years in prison. Salim said, "I felt violated being arrested in front of my sister, and even more violated giving samples. This whole incident has left me feeling very insecure. I feel like I'm being judged, and I still feel like people are thinking wrong about me. The impact on my life has been unforgivable." And you can see this is what we're dealing with. So, and many people have commented, and I will also say, people shouldn't give, unless you know the people, give anybody a lift in their car, home, or anywhere else. And that doesn't mean taxis, just generally. And also, if you do for whatever reason, make sure you have recordings like have things recorded, because if he didn't record it, then what would have happened? Maybe he would have been falsely imprisoned based on lies. So you can see, even when people try to do good, the khabith vermin enemies of Islam and Muslims still find ways to falsely accuse Muslims. I'm not saying this is particularly based on him being a Muslim or not, but for whatever reason, this incident occurred, and this sentence I don't feel like is acceptable. This individual should have got a lot more sentence and a lot harsher. And also, I don't know if this sentence is suspended or not, but it definitely shouldn't be. And also, just like when you do sexual crimes, you on this register or whatever it is, people who lie about stuff like this should also be on the register, and you should harm them, just like people who actually do these things, because this man's life could have been completely ruined because of lies. And even then, now some people will still say, "Oh, it's lies" and whatever else, because they choose to do that even when the truth has been made apparent.